Uncertain is a word many grain producers are using to describe their outlook about markets this year. Although grain prices may be at healthy levels, every dollar more you can yield per planted acre is mighty important as input costs continue to go up.
Our producers are the best at growing anything, whether it's cattle, whether it's crops, or what it may be. But sometimes we lack the marketing expertise. I can remember we'd raise a crop, we'd put it in the bin, and whenever we decided to sell it, we'd sell it. You can't do that.
I don't believe farmers many times understand that they have the potential to negotiate price, and that their prices, when they work with other farmers, can be enhanced. The crops they raise are their livelihood, obviously, but they're more than that. It's almost emotional tie. That's my baby. I put it in the ground. I watched it grow. I harvest it. I put it in the bin. Now this is the price I want for it. Most of the time they deserve that price.
When we look at agricultural product that a producer has spent his entire year growing, anybody can sell that product. There's a buyer out there at some price. If you want to begin to market that product, you have to go a number of steps beyond the concept of just selling it somewhere. And the only way that you can get yourself out of that mode of shopping the current market opportunities is to begin to put yourself together with other producers who have a like product in order to, first of all, increase your volume. Second one, to increase your dependability in delivery. And thirdly, also to protect yourself from the adverse conditions of weather factors and so forth.
From everything I've learned from going to meetings and listening, the more you can get into a pool, you generate volume. The more volume you get, the more people start listening to you. That's true with everything. First steps, you got to get a pool together.
Grain Marketing Plus involves price negotiations because as we gather together farmers in a specific area that all may go to a group of, say, 3 elevators and have those choices, that we will go to those elevators and make them pay for the product and try to outbid their competitors to get the grain that we're selling.
You know, people like to sell grain together. This group loves to sell grain together. And they feel like the bigger volume they can get, the more power they have and the happier they are.
You are if you buy.
Also, Marketing Plus is it's more than just price negotiations, of course, in the fact that it is a multiple sales strategy that we've been using since 1989. And since 1989, we've been able to place farmers in the top third of the market 90% of the time.
Pooling volume is very critical. Right in this area, and we're not a huge grain area, and we don't have a huge amount of numbers. But when we sell grain as a group, the buyers are calling us back and wanting more grain. Where individually, I hardly ever get a call from somebody individually wanting to buy my grain. But if they know you've got some volume and the ability to deliver it in short notice, they'll give you a better price.
Price negotiation is extremely important. I spent 10 years as a commodity broker on the side as well and a commodity trader. and spent a lot of time analyzing futures. When we looked at something other than a commercial storage cost situation, maybe more comparable to what some farmer with on-farm storage with sunk cost in his grain bins might be looking at, in that case, the NFO marketer was substantially more profitable than had the farmer just sold on his own at the same time. There was a substantial gain there.
Put new batteries in your moisture tester, you want to make sure you calibrate it. I heard it.
In business today, you negotiate for a price. You try and get the very best price you can. And the larger the block of volume, the better chance you have going to the marketplace. It's very simple. At least it's simple for me to say because I've been involved in it for so long.
We raise a fair amount of small
The
grains
concentration on the buy side has changed so much. We're dealing with fewer and fewer buyers every year, regardless of what commodity we're talking about, and we have to realize that and adjust accordingly.
piece of mesh right in that middle. You can't see it very good now, but before you...
The thing that I especially liked about National Farmers Organization is that is their business, is getting a price for the farmer's product.
And that's what you need, something big like that.
You can always count on them for assistance when you need it. And there's been some times when maybe we've had a little bit of a problem with a grain sale that we have asked for assistance and been very pleased with the outcome.
I think it was 2 years ago we sold, forward contracted some soybeans in the port in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And as we got closer to harvest, we got a call from them. And they said that they weren't going to take any beans, that they weren't going to take any beans at all. They were going to buy our contract out. And it was going to cost us X number of cents to get out of this contract. Well, you know, number one, we didn't do the canceling, they did. So we talked, we called Pete Lorenz and talked to him about it. Well, he thought it was crazy too. And he called down there and talked to the outfit, and well, we didn't end up having to pay anything. But you know, Pete had some, he has some bargaining power where an individual farmer had no power. Yeah, it's all going to be covered.
You know, we have so few companies buying farm products right now. You just have to know, and this is not just me, this isn't any economics text. Remember, I'm also a freshman economics instructor. I teach this stuff. When you have that few companies, they have what's called market power. That means farmers need to be a lot more than smart individual managers. It means farmers need to have some strength in the market. No individual farmer can do that.
Kansas State Farm Management keeps my books, and their supervisor will tell you that our sales are always in the very tops of the southeast Kansas area that he covers. They've changed my whole farm. I don't know whether I'd be farming if it wasn't for NFO. You know, it's made me much more profitable.
Out here, we're just, you know, one farmer by himself. And together with NFO, we feel like we have a good support system and a lot of backup.